Hello, everyone, or maybe no one. Welcome to the Magrathea live listening party live stream. I just came to the realization that I can't see who's watching this, if anyone. This is my first live stream ever, so if you've got something you want to say, please do not hesitate to pop in the chat and let me know what you think. So the plan today is I'm going to be going through my album Magrathea that just came out today. And for a few of the songs, I'm going to take you on a journey through the actual project file. I love looking at other people's project files, and maybe you do too. If so, you're in the right place. But I had a tragic computer explosion about a year ago, so unfortunately I don't have files for all of them, but I do have a project file for the first song, and that's Pale Blue Pixel. So let's take a listen.
That's here. That's me. That's us.
And of course you might recognize the voice of Carl Sagan, the incredible scientist.
That's here. That's me. That's us.
His incredible blue dot speech. Oh, a system overload. Thrilling. Well, that was my worst nightmare, so hopefully nobody's watching. Scratch everything I just said. I'm gonna just take you on a journey through the most fun parts of this project file and then just play the song on iTunes because I'm pretty sure my computer will be able to handle that. I knew something was gonna go wrong today and I was hoping I would get past the first 48 seconds before it did, but deep down in my heart, I knew this was exactly what was gonna go on. So my favorite thing about this project file is that I was able to draw in all of the vibrato by hand. Yeah, so if I scoot that up a little, there you can see on this fun little line, if it'll play it for us, we've got a really fun little melody here. Right down here. Ugh, dang. Well, I guess that's what I get for flying too close to the sun. Yet again, I did not learn any kind of lesson from my last live stream. And that's fine with me. So let's just go through them on Spotify so that I get a tiny, tiny percentage of a penny each time we listen. And I'll just give you some fun facts about the songs. Ugh. I knew there was lag, but this is a level that is truly horrifying to me. That's fine. Let's close Logic Pro and see what happens next. Hopefully that'll free up a little bit of computer power so I can do something. I hope no one's watching this, and if you are, I apologize for the inconvenience. As I just look myself up, the most embarrassing thing someone can do. If that wasn't me that popped up first, I would have been freaking livid. All right, back to the top. There you go. I'm just gonna sit back and let it play. Oh my gosh, hi Jeff. So good to see you. I can't believe you're here. For anyone else who might be here, this is Jeff Honer in the chat, one of my favorite teachers when I went to SAIT for digital audio production. And this is my first album produced entirely just with the skills I learned at SAIT in Andrew Hong's masterclass from my dad, who was a great electronic musician, and from YouTube, where I am right now. So thank you so much, Jeff, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. inspired by popular science and science fiction. Yeah. Jeff, who are your favorite musicians right now?
For us,
Drop them in
it's
the chat.
different.
I'll add them to my playlist.
Consider again that. That's you. That's me. That's us.
Oh yeah, and kind of speaking of school.
That's what.
Oh my god, really? Everyone, this is Jeff's first time chatting on the live stream. This is my first time doing a live stream, and I'm pretty sure you're the only person here. Where's my freaking parents? Are they not hopping in the chat? How dare they? That's so Aside from the drawn-in vibrato, another one of my favorite things that I enjoy doing on this track is layering it was really useful to be able to show the song to people as I was doing it as well,
But it's you.
especially with such incredible musicians as the ones in Andrew Huang's masterclass that I took a few years ago. Oh, sure. Or before we proceed on to the next one, I'll just take that note. And I'll actually crank up my mic a little bit over here, but it's already pretty high, so I'll probably just turn down my music audio. I hope that's okay. Feel free to let me know if that's good enough. Let's move on to the next song. This is Fly.
Fly. Come along, let's fly.
If that sounds good, if that sounds bad, just let me know.
Turn it up, let's fly.
Me too. It's so hard to pin it down when you have truly just bizarre and broad taste. Yeah. And this song, Fly. Thank you so freaking much, Jeff. I appreciate that so much. If only I could still be graded. Yeah. And this song was especially fun to do. This is, I think, the only song on the album that actually has any words that I sing other than samples from Carl Sagan. And I really enjoyed using Isotope Stutter 2 to create all these fun stutter effects. This was, of course, also inspired by those same kind of artists on the Coffee Beats playlist, creating fun, energetic stuff that isn't so in your face that you're like, I can't get anything done while this is happening. Okay. Thanks so much, Jeff. Let me know if you need me to turn it down a little more. First live stream ever, and I'm very much open to notes. And I'm sorry I'm looking over here all the time. This is the area where I can see if the live stream is still working. By working, I'm using that term pretty loosely considering how we started, but that's fine. Thank you so freaking much, Jeff. I just got a belated A+. Hell yeah. I was definitely going for a very retro sci-fi vibe here with these synth solos. And definitely also aiming for like a techno-y thing with the heavily sidechain synths kind of populating the mid-range, the frequencies. I love that. Thank you so much, Jeff. This is probably because I didn't specify the time zone until like 10 minutes ago. Wait, Jeff, are you still in Calgary? Because if you are, you solved my puzzle. And congratulations on actually making it to the live stream. Oh, and I'm so glad you're here because the next song actually has some good fun facts. Okay, so this one, thank you so much. So The Kitchen Stirs at Dusk. This song was a challenge from Andrew Huang's masterclass where we had to create an entire song using only instruments that we made from scratch. So every single instrument in this piece was either made from samples I recorded in my apartment, or just made using simple waves on Logic Pro, mostly using like Serum and other synths like that. This lead melody is just blowing on a bottle, and then I extended that for a long time. And another fun sound from the kitchen in this one is the ice cube trays going like that kind of tango-y ice cube rhythm. I love the sound of ice so much. Wow, that's great. Congratulations on retiring, moving to New Brunswick. That sounds beautiful and coastal. Yeah. Oh, that weird amp sound that's playing right now? I don't know why that happened. That was a straight up accident and I just left it in there. Oh, another fun thing is that a lot of these glassy kind of synths that you can hear in the background are made of real glass. Like, that's just me going tink or sloop on a glass, and then extending it out as much as I can. And I'm going to use this sub sound on pretty much everything. Like, a lot of these sounds... Oh, the percussion I think was just me hitting like bowls with pillows, like with really sound absorbent stuff. Oh, some vocal samples. I forgot that was even in there. So I'm really excited to be able to use this cache of unique instruments in my next album, whenever that comes out. How did I make those horn sounds? I don't remember. I know I used Serum, but that's it. Oh yeah, and those little glassy tanks. I love layering those on top of pretty much anything. Like, with a longer synth sound with a slower sort of arc into it. I love putting just like a really like, almost atonal kind of like right at the very beginning to give it some bite, but not too much. So this next song, Cactus Flowers, almost didn't exist. I wrote this song because a while back, like earlier this year when I first announced the album on Instagram, my friend Dylan was like, oh, is it going to have 42 songs on it? Because any Hitchhiker's Guide fan knows that this is a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And at first I was like, I wish I'd thought of that. No, there's only going to be 8. But then I realized that if I added a 9th song to this album, I'd have 42 songs total in my whole discography. And that's the only reason why I did this, just to bulk up my numbers. I wrote this one while I was visiting my family in BC, just looking at the beautiful flowering cactuses of my cactus siblings. My parents bought some cactuses when I was born, and now they're pretty old, so the flowers are looking beautiful. Oh, Jeff, I would love to hear your pots and pans samples. Yeah, for sure. Man, this guy taught me so much stuff about music production, everyone. I would love to hear the kind of stuff you did with pots and pans, because it's such a great foundation to do something weird and interesting with. Yeah. Oh yeah, one more fun thing about Cactus Flowers is this is me on the saxophone. And I had to take an emergency saxophone lesson from my friend Denny, famous for Tamaco and Renny Santo. Check him out on Spotify. Because I just kind of I played for about 7 years in high school and periodically picked it back up, but I didn't practice for the whole pandemic pretty much. So when I picked it up, I was so bad. I thought the saxophone was broken, and I just needed oh my God, Grace! Thank you so much for showing up to my little show. I'm actually not from BC, I'm from Alberta, but my family's living on Vancouver Island now, which is a great place for almost any plant to live. Whether you're a cactus or a lemon tree, that's the ideal island for you to be located. And how are you doing, Grace? What's new? Oh yeah, another thing about cactus flowers is this is the one where I pretty much learned that, yeah, you can put effects on the stereo track. Maybe you shouldn't, but I definitely did anyway. Like adding remix effects and full-on crazy EQ stuff, slapping it right on the final track going out. So there's a lot of stuff trying to make this kind of chaotic song more cohesive by adding stuff to the stereo track. Oh my god, hi Gabriel! Ah! I'm so glad you guys are here. Y'all's music is blowing my mind. For anyone that doesn't know, this is Grace and Gabriel. They're fantastic, sort of like, I guess, more indie rock kind of instrumentalists. And I think mostly still here in Toronto. Let me know if that's wrong. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Laurel, where are you from in Alberta? Also, I apologize because I know there's a bit of a lag, so I hope that's not too awkward for you guys, popping in the chat and having me respond like 30 seconds later. And this song, Bubble City, holds an extra special place in my heart because my brother Rigel said he liked it, and it's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Rigel, if you're watching this. And also, famed musician Shannon Chapman said she liked it. She's my hero. If you tuned into the live stream a little bit early, I was playing some of her music as well as some other artists. And I'll play some more by other artists at the end of this. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are still in the city. This is the place to be. And you guys, like Grace and Gabriel and everyone. Oh, Edmonton? Cool. That's fantastic. I'm from Calgary, so I guess we're enemies, but I don't really care. Go Oilers, I guess. Awesome. But yeah, what are you guys doing next music-wise? Promote whatever you're doing in the chat right now. Get ready for the most beautiful little bells thing that you've ever heard in your whole life. Twinkly. I love putting orchestral stuff in electronic tracks. That is quite literally my jam. Why did I just say literally? God, I'm so stupid. And everyone saw me say it too. Whatever. That's what I get. Also, Dad, if you're watching, there's a lot of sevenths in this song. You're welcome. A lot of sevenths, a lot of ninths. That's how I prove I'm listening. The Echo plugin that I went totally insane with on this song is the H-Delay plugin from Waves, and using that with the ping pong effect is basically how I do everything now. Oh my god, Praj! Hello! That's my boyfriend and he's over there. He's tuned in and I really appreciate it. Yay! And thanks so much, Jeff Sparkly is exactly what I was going for. Oh yeah, so the intro to this one, Aquarium Pebbles, uses little quiet recordings of just what it sounds like in my apartment by my window, right in the part where the cardioid microphone is not hitting. And I've really been enjoying using subtle ambience like that, like office ambience, forest ambience, just apartment ambience to make everything sound a little bit more full. I want to send me like a link to your stuff. I wonder if I can click it if you send me a link to your stuff in the chat, because if I can, I'll play it right after this. Rigel! Ah! Happy birthday! I'm so glad that you're here. This is my brother Rigel popping in the chat. It is his birthday today, and that's fantastic. I wish I could be there eating noodles with you guys. For this kind of loungy part, I was really going for like a Charlie Brown's Christmas kind of vibe. You may be wondering, can I play the piano? The answer is no. Can I play the bass? No. But The bass sound here, and in honestly most of the songs on this album, is a Trillion bass module, which if you're a music producer and you don't have it, you gotta get it. I know it's expensive. It's the most expensive thing I own, but it is so worth it. It is the bass module that Charlie Puth used on his song Attention, and I think it really sounds like an actual bass, which I'm loving. Oh, and for the Toronto folks, listen for the TTC sound. Not here, but at the next part. It's coming. And I accidentally wrote this song sort of in the key of the TTC. That's the Toronto Transit Commission, for anyone who's not in Toronto, which I guess is most of the people tuning in. And I didn't change it at all, except I added more reverb than there already is. And I listened to it so many times that now I can't not think of this song when I go on the TTC, which is sort of backwards, because my goal for this one was to be really beachy and like foresty. Like, this is a song you could listen to just while lounging on a beach towel and looking out at the beautiful sunset. Oh yeah, I also put a lot of slot machine and kind of gambling sound effects in this one, and I don't really know why I did that, but I think it's because I was obsessed with the game Insane Aquarium as a kid, which is like a fish coins game. You got fish, you got coins. You got to get the coins to feed the fish. It's really high stakes and important. That zoomed down, yet another example of me just slapping the Native to Logic remix effect on the stereo track and just letting it do what it wants to do. And oh, this section is definitely inspired by something I learned in Andrew Hong's masterclass, which is if you're stuck, just get a bunch of instruments and try to fit in as many as possible. So I got flutes, I got some sort of throat singing, breathing stuff. I got a bunch of different kinds of synths, new vocal layers, all the kind of stuff. Thank you so much, Rigel. That is so freaking nice. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, is bring the beach on the TTC without getting in trouble. This one, Coconut Elixir, is maybe the chillest one. My goal for this one was to make a song that is very like kind of calming but modern and cozy but not boring. Let me know if that worked or if it didn't. And I actually wrote this one sort of with the eye of it becoming maybe a background track for another artist, but then I liked it enough on its own that I just kept it for myself. What else did I do with this one? This one is so simple. I've got nothing to say. How are you guys doing? So freaking cute. That's the best chat I've ever seen. Yay! And Rigel, what kind of birthday shenanigans have you been up to so far? Were you able to play all the games you wanted to play? Assuming it's like 4 p.m. for you, so I don't think that you've had the chance to eat it. The amount of noodles that you deserve to eat, probably. One thing that... So I wrote Coconut Elixir like a couple of years ago, actually, and then just remastered it to fit in with this album. And one thing that I would do differently if I could go back is all of those really abrupt endings. I think I'd maybe add like a psh or some kind of blending element to make those sections seem less abrupt. Yes, Rigel, thank you. Yes, study and work is exactly what I'm going for. And I think this whole musical style kind of came about for me because I started doing more regular like daytime work like a real human person, and was listening to a lot of background kind of music, a lot of progressive house and a lot of tropical kind of stuff. Hell yeah. I'm so glad that you got to play an appropriate amount of Terraria, like a birthday amount. I hope you played for 8 hours. Yeah. And yeah, I'm definitely going for the calming vibes on this one. And that big trailing echo, that's what I like. Stay tuned for probably more of that in everything I do in the future. Oh, and for pretty much all of the reverbs on this whole thing, I'm using Valhalla Vintage reverb. It is my favorite. Everyone should have it. It's amazing. Totally worth it. Also, I'm not paid by any plugin companies, just in case anyone's wondering. I wish I was, but no. Maybe one day. Oh yeah, this one, the lounge, has a lot of like, if you're not wearing headphones, you definitely should be, because it's got a lot of clicky little back and forth, subtle percussive stuff to make up for the fact that this is another very chill, calming, loop-based track. This is another one where I was trying to keep it as simple as possible. So I tried to keep it interesting by adding a lot of space in the drums. It's going back and forth. I hope everyone's wearing headphones and that they're good stereo ones. Or bad ones. I want to know how my music sounds on bad headphones, so tell me if you're wearing them. And you know what? I think this one was sort of, as I started doing it, kind of intended to be a backing track for another artist or something like that. But then I stepped back and I realized, this is better as a lo-fi beat, just kind of on its own. Doesn't need any extra stuff. And if anyone's working on any like indie games or chill, maybe like a farming game, like a space farming game, let me know and I'll license this song to you. Thank you so much for these lovely emojis. And Jeff, yeah, you deserve it. Thank you so freaking much. Yeah, I'm definitely always hiding subtle little things in everything. Maybe except for this one, honestly. I feel like the lounge is one of the only ones that kind of just is exactly what it is. But this next one, Titania Starship, has a lot of secret little details that I definitely... I always forget that I did them and then listen again on different headphones and remember. This is another one that I did quite some time ago, actually. This is the oldest song on the album. I wrote this one in 2019, and it just sat on my hard drive for years, and now it's here. Of course, remastered to fit in with everything else, which I did with Isotope Ozone, which is a lifesaver, best mastering plugin ever. Not as good as Human, but still, pretty good. Verby piano, sort of like ostinatos, are just the most beautiful things in the world. Definitely going to be doing more of that. Definitely going for like a fairy sort of vibe. You know, Oberon and Titania flying through the sky. I feel like this one should also be in a video game. Is anyone making a video game where Oberon and Titania fly through the sky? Because if so, boy howdy, do I have the licensing opportunity for you. And if anyone else has any music they want to promote or talk about in the chat, every single person here is a great artist or designer or something. Or at least everyone in the chat is. Who knows who else is lurking. So say what you're doing in the chat and then everyone will know about it. Yeah. Totally. Yes, Jeff. Yeah. I feel you there so much. Do you feel like half the time it's elation and half the time it's regret? Like if I listen to a song from 10 or more years ago, it's almost like someone else did it. And then I can think like, wow, that teenager's good. Like that's great for that level. But if I listen to something from 2 or 3 years ago, I'm like, you should have known better. Why didn't you do it? to your current standard. And I think I'm just gonna have to wait to feel good about those ones. But you know, it's getting better and better as time goes by. Which just goes to show it's always good to do things. Yeah. Including this, and I so appreciate everyone showing up to this live stream. I barely promoted it. I didn't specify the time zone. And computer exploded right at the very beginning. So I really, really appreciate that all y'all showed up to this to listen to my little album commentary. And we're nearing the end of the album, but I got some more surprises coming up pretty soon. Yeah, not my own music, but the music that this album was inspired by. There's that echoey piano again, one of my themes, one of my things. Yay! And that's it. That is Magrathea. Of course, this time I talked over the whole thing, but you can listen to it for realsies on any platform you choose. The best way to support it is by buying it on Bandcamp, and if one other person buys it, I'll have doubled my sales, and then I'll feel so good about myself. So do that if that's something you like doing. But my favorite thing about this album overall, yeah, damn right, you know what you're talking about. But yeah, this album was inspired by my dad's work as an electronic musician. I always grew up around home studios. Of course, my mom is an incredible musician as well. She's more in a folk Celtic style, and she'll get her tribute album later. Gabriel, you're so right. And it's so true. You can never go back, and I wish I could so bad to change some things about that song and take out all the ands and the buts and the its. I had too many words back then, and now I don't have any. And I'm sure I'll regret that a couple years down the line. But the special treat that I have prepared for you guys is we're going to listen to some of my favorite songs from my dad's album, Mostly Harmless. It's, of course, also available everywhere. And I'll probably share a link to that maybe on my Instagram or something later. I really should have thought about what I was going to do before I started talking. But something like that. And I think the first song we should listen to is The Kitchen Stirs at Dawn, because this is his song made mostly of recorded samples, recorded in my childhood home. Ah, Dad! Yay! I hope you're having fun at work, and I hope that you're pleasantly surprised by the fact that I'm playing your album on the live stream now. And you know what? I'm going to stop talking for a bit, because we got to just listen to this. Those just delightful bubbles fill me with so much joy. Ooh! Okay, Jeff, all right. I'm going to write that down, and let's check out some of that after we listen to some of the songs from Mostly Harmless. Hi, Chandler. How's it going? Just finding some diminished fifth. So cool. And I love Celtic music, of course. I just don't know how to do it. I can't play the harp. And Dad, I know you're at work, but if you want to drop some fun facts about your album in the chat, feel free. One of the things I think I know about it is that it was produced mostly in the 90s. And I think it was released in 2001, or at least that's when it came out on this platform. And this one's a monster album. So many songs. Yeah, we're getting deep and philosophical. And it would be so funny if this became some kind of tradition. Like if there was some eventual progeny. Okay, bye! If that's a wave goodbye. Or if that's a huzzah, then huzzah. Okay, jazz hands. Yeah, will we ever find out what the kitchen sounds like in the afternoon or any other time? I don't know. Maybe never. This song absolutely also captures the organic things blending in so well with warm, beautiful synths. And I love it. That's my inspiration. I love this melody so much. It gets stuck in my head every single day, all the time. I feel like I'm at a sampling disadvantage because I think my alarm has always been music. So how am I going to make an instrument out of that? It's already too much going on. This really does sound like morning. Oh my god, I just noticed I haven't like saved all of the songs. Let me figure that out. Okay, all of these songs blow my mind. But I think we're gonna skip ahead to one of my other top songs that get stuck in my head. Right after this one. Okay, we're gonna listen to Glow in the Rearview Mirror, then we're gonna listen to 6-5 because it is so mathy, and I'm sure that a lot of the musicians in the chat will really enjoy it. So I think we're just gonna do maybe 4 or 5 of these because this album is monstrous. Like, this is more like a decade of work, whereas I just kind of slapped mine together over the course of a few years, like half a decade. It's like half a decade, half as long. And then, yeah, we'll check out some of the stuff that Jeff is working on. And anyone else who wants to drop their music in the chat. I want to listen to everything. That is so freaking cool. Man, it is incredible that this level of quality could be together without the tools that we're so accustomed to today. Jeff, if you're a bad dancer with a lot of confidence, you can dance to anything. Dun, 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 dun. Yay. Oh yeah, fun fact. So my dad, Steve, who is in the chat right now, he also went to SAIT for digital audio the year before I did. Am I correct in assuming that Jeff also taught you a bunch of classes at that time? I think so. But it was a while ago. Yeah. I love this song so much. I find it so calming and relaxing and fun. It's also kind of interesting to note that I'm pretty sure that all of these instrumental parts must have been performed pretty much live and in time on this album due to the technological constraints of the time. Let me know if that is incorrect. But for me, I've been able to just quantize everything so correctly. I'm working on a song right now for my next album. Because I ran out of stuff. I put all of my music that I had on my computer into Magrathea, and now I've got nothing, and feels weird, frankly, so I'm already starting to work on the next thing. Oh yeah, Dad, you just gotta put more stuff on the streaming platforms that I have on my phone. That is so cool. Yeah. For the maybe 2 or 3 people in the chat who don't already know my dad, he is a cyclist, and that's like 30% of his personality. Or at least he was before he got his velomobile. If you don't know what a velomobile is, check it out because it's worth knowing about. And the song I'm gonna play next is definitely Cycling the Sane Solution. It's so just like happy. It's joyous without being too complicated, which I think is the trap I fall into all the time. It's just like adding too much stuff and ending up with chaos. So I really like that these songs are cozy and calming and complicated and interesting without being too much. Yay! Oh yeah! I'm gonna have to listen to that again for the Doppler effect. That's so cool. I love this one. Oh yeah, and anyone wearing stereo headphones, I hope you felt that incredible like tom going from side to side. How do you do that sense of space on equipment that you don't just click it? That's a real question. Because I wasn't capable of forming memories, or maybe didn't even exist at the time the song was written. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I love this one, but it's too Christmassy, so we're gonna listen to 6-5 now. Oh my god, Jeff, I'm so glad you got to ride the velomobile. I'm jealous that you're tall enough. I'm too short. They'd have to adjust pretty much everything in there for me to be able to reach the pedals. Awesome. When does the time signature change? Ah! I feel like I've listened to it so many times and counted it so few times that my brain is struggling to keep up with the time signature right now. And that's another thing I hope to do more in future albums is just more time signature changes. And more key signature changes. Don't worry, that is something I'm gonna do. I did not do very many, if any, in Magrathea, but it's coming up. Yeah, for those of you who don't know how music works, every time you play it, the musician gets trapped. You know, their soul gets sucked into the internet and they have to play it for you, kind of like a ghost's unfinished business. And if they don't do it, they wither into nothingness. Oh, and Dad, are there any songs from your album that you want to absolutely make sure that I highlight right now? Because if so, drop them in the chat. Yeah. Obviously, they're all my favorites, but definitely these are the ones that get stuck in my head most often, and that inspired my album most directly. And such a beautiful, natural fade out. That was kind of going to be the last one I was going to play from that for now. And this is where I'd initially planned on concluding the whole show. But let's check out Jeff's project. And if anyone else has anything else that they want to drop in the chat, let me know and let's take a look. Okay, so we're going to check out some diminished fifth. Oh, I should have checked to see if it's on Spotify, just in case it's not. Oh, yes, and it is. Are there any specific songs that I should definitely be looking at right now? Let me know, or I'm just gonna pick the first thing. Whoa, this is huge.
Soul, soul, soul cake, please, good mama, soul cake. An apple, a plum, a peach, or a cherry. Any good thing to make us all merry. One for Peter,
Yes,
two for
yes.
Paul, three for
Factorio,
him who
bring it
made
on.
us all.
Awesome.
Soul, soul cake, please, good mama, soul cake.
Jeff, this first song is so interesting because it really reminds me of Rose, 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 Red. Is it? It is the same song. That's so interesting. I know this one's from theater school, but with totally different words. Will I ever see thee red? I will marry and I will sire and I will. Rose, 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 red. Will I ever see thee wed? I will marry and I will sire and I will. If you know the story of this song, I would love to know if this is like a regional thing, that this song has different lyrics. That is so interesting. I wonder where my version came from.
If you help let God
Then God bless you. Go down into your cellar
Oh,
and see
interesting.
what you
Changing
can
it up.
find.
Cool.
If your barrels
This is so
are not
cool.
empty, we
I
hope
like it.
you will be kind. Indeed, we hope you will be
And of course,
kind with your
goes without
apples
saying,
and
but
your
gorgeous
beer.
mix.
And we will come and say no more until this time next year. A soul in a soul in soul, soul. Please, good mama, soul cake.
Give us a soul cake.
So freaking beautiful. Let's listen to the Highland Laddie. Wow. That's so interesting. What instrument is that? I can't identify it. Like, it sounds kind of like bagpipes, but I don't think it is.
Lowland lads think they are fine, but oh, they're vain and
Yeah, that's so interesting how some standards are so standard that they become unstandardized, like that everyone knows the melody, but the little elements, like the words, can be completely just altered and blended into culture, and then no one asks any questions. Like, I definitely was not wondering, like, are there any other classic songs that have the same melody but different words? I don't know. So interesting. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I'm going to be listening to this all the time. And honestly, this is such an interesting departure, such an interesting mix from our sort of electronic world that we've been living in.
My bunny, bunny, healing laddie, when I was sick and like
Cool. I'm going to Google that, find out what it is, and get one.
in his healing lady, or Benty Hill with him I'll run and leave my lowland kin and
This is lovely.
daddy frae winter's cold and summer's sun. He'll screen me in his healing lady, a painted room, a silken bed, one
Oh, interesting. That's so cool. Man, you learn something new every day.
Behind a bush is healing lady.
Whoa, that's beautiful. Okay, now that we're in this beautiful acoustic world, we're going to listen to this, we're going to listen to the yew tree, and then we're going to listen to some of my mom's album, because it is the perfect thing to transition to from this. And fair's fair.
Greater joy I'll e'er pretend than that his love proved true.
The Parting Glass. Okay, cool. Yew tree, Parting Glass, then mom's album. And I'm sorry if anyone can hear the planes overhead. It's the CNE in Toronto right now, and there's an air show going on. And there are like boar jets all over the place. Yesterday I didn't know the CD was happening, and I thought we were all gonna die. It's like being a dog on 4th of July.
When I was sick and like Daddy, he rode me in his heel and played. Oh, my bonny, bonny heel and laddie. Oh, my bonny, bonny heel and laddie. When I was sick and like Daddy, he rode me in his heel and played.
It's interesting that maybe there's been one and I just haven't noticed, but I don't think there's been a single diminished fifth in this whole thing so far. So what's up with that? Oh my god, Jeff, I can't believe you didn't know. Okay, yeah, we're gonna listen to 2 more songs from your project, and then we're gonna move on to the great artist I.H. Smythe. Oh yeah, also I sang backup vocals for that album a little bit too, so a little bonus to me for of hearing. But don't listen to that part. Let's listen to the yew tree.
A mile frae Bengate land on the road to the sea stands a yew tree 1,000 years old.
This is really cool.
And the old women
Honestly, this kind of music is like the kind of stuff that I've wanted to do forever, but straight up just haven't had the courage to do. Like, I'm layering all this stuff because it's like no one thing sounds good enough on its own. Jeff, what did you have to do anything special to make these vocals sound so good? Or are these vocalists just so good that you could just sort of compress it and then walk away?
All the hopes and the fears of 1,000 long years under the Lothian sky, my bonny yew tree.
It's beautiful. I love how wistful, dark and wistful it is.
Did you see?
Yeah, it's interesting that they chose a band name referencing one of the most uncomfortable intervals that there is. And all of their music so far that I've heard is very just kind of straight, you know? Oh my god, thank you so much. Maybe one day. Yeah.
The price of their glory when you heard the great slaughter begin.
Yeah. Also, just to give fair enough credit to all of the geniuses in my family. So I've got an album, my dad has an album, my mom has an album, and we're all on Spotify and everything. But my brother is also a genius, and here is why. He, first of all, he transposed 6/5 into Factorio, which is totally crazy. If you want to drop some more facts about that in the chat, I'm sure the people would love to learn more about that. He plays the trombone, but most importantly, he's working on some extremely cool video games right now. So we're all doing creative stuff. And of course, Rose is a cat, and she is so loud. So, hi Rose, I hope you're watching too. Rose, say something in the chat. Give me a meow.
The poor across mountain and moor, though a rich man can keep them in chains, my bonny yew tree. Tell me what
Is this one of those, one of these drums that you like sit on?
did you know things
It's so beautiful.
to tell when John Knox himself preached under your branches? Say
I wish I had a longer headphone cable because I've got a drum just like that, but a smaller version, and I'd be so ready to pop in, but I can't. I'm tired. Yeah.
For you knew the bargain he sold them, and freedom was only one part. For the price of their souls was a gospel so cold it would freeze up the joy in their hearts. My bonny yew tree, tell me what did you see?
And I thought as I stood and laid hands on your wood that it might be a
Do y'all want to know something really cool I just learned about tree rings? So it turns out that by looking at tree rings, you can sort of look back and see what years had the worst weather, like which years had the most hurricanes. And therefore, you can also infer which years had the most or least piracy. Because it's pretty important to not have very many hurricanes if you're going to be a really successful pirate. And that is how tree rings predict piracy.
And to learn lands a long thousand more.
Wow, so beautiful.
My bonny yew tree, tell me what can you see?
Also, if you guys want more... Wow, that sounds very challenging. And there's a lot going on here. It's like, it sounds sort of simple at first glance because so much of it is a cappella, and it's like you can, you feel like you can count the tracks, but there are so many interesting instruments coming in and so much cohesiveness, which I really, really like. That is so moving and very sad. I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow, that must have been a lot of pressure to have to carry the torch for a good friend and to take over this project for them. And I commend you for doing it. Oh, that's so sad. This song is so sad.
Oh, if I had money enough to spend, and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town that surely has me hard beguiled. Her rosy cheeks and ruby lips, I own she has me heart enthralled. Come, fill to me
So
the
lovely.
parting glass.
That is extremely beautiful.
Good night,
and well reflected in the music.
be to you all. Of all the comrades e'er I had,
They are sorry for my going away, and all the
that's so sad.
sweethearts e'er I had.
All my music is so escapist, and this is just a little too real. Yeah.
More day to
Very human, very beautiful.
But since it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not,
Ooh, juicy.
gently
Beautiful chord.
rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. I'll gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all.
Wow, that is incredible. I really, really admire the work you did on that album. That's beautiful. Oh, no, it's not a bummer. It's gorgeous. Like, this is very authentic and heartfelt and not just kind of goofy and for fun. Like, I'm definitely, as an artist right now, trying to do things that are joyful. And it's also really important, maybe even more so, to have the courage to do music that is real and dark and really exposed, as mostly a cappella music is. Speaking of beautiful music with kind of like a folky vibe, now we're going to listen to some songs from Like a Tide Rising, my mom's album. Yay! You know what you're talking about, Rigel. You have incredible taste. And even if you're not saying a really long monologue about it, you know what you're talking about. Let's just listen to a selection of the incredible songs from Like a Tide Rising. Yeah. Now, this album was produced also just totally independently by my mom, Ingrid Hansen-Smythe. She's also an author. I'll post her website on my Instagram story later as well. You're so right. Simple arrangements are the most challenging. And of course, that is her on the harp. And as the lead vocalist on pretty much this entire album. And a lot of these lyrics are by the poet Laws Hayward. He's an English poet, and they sort of collaborated together on this album, but all the music and production was done by Ingrid Hansen-Smythe.
Not the sugar, not the arrow.
And I think this song is one of the most just clever arrangements ever, and you'll hear why.
You are not the nose, and you are not the top of the mountain. You are not the nose, and you are not the top of the mountain. You are not the flower, you are the perfume. Neither red nor blue nor
smart, right?
green. You are the color scheme, not the
Chopping it up.
sugar, but it's sweetness. Not the arrow, but it's flight.
Isn't that freaking
You
great?
are not the notes, you are the music.
Well, Jeff, now you do know a harp player through the power of the internet. Ingrid Hansen-Smythe, check her out everywhere. Oh my god! I didn't even notice the username for a second. Hey there, Uncle Steven! Welcome to the live stream! I'm so glad to see you. Mom told me that hilarious thing you said about using stars as hard drives. Drop some jokes in the chat if you got them. Yeah, Jeff, we have recorded a lot of stuff together, but I think all of us have a very independent sort of artistic spirit. I know I need to practice more as a collaborator to feel comfortable just like jamming and then having it's hard to have a cohesive vision sometimes. Especially when it's so important, you know? I think all of us care about our music so deeply. So although we've done quite a few things, and I'm just going to sort of skip through this album randomly. I had no plan here. But yeah, although we've done quite a few things, I think most of us get more done individually. It's just faster. And Uncle Steven, tell me what you're working on. And you're in Charlottetown probably, right? Oh yeah, I'm doing backup vocals on this song, Ophelia, and get ready for an epic guitar solo by our good friend Tristan Zaba, also from Calgary, living in Toronto now. One of the most prolific musicians I've ever met in the rock and new classical genres. Check him out, Tristan Zaba, also a musician available everywhere. Culture, okay, yes, I'll be sure to do that next. That is exactly correct. Apt.
A speck of dust captured in a column of sunlight. The water turned to a transparent shell in which she is held like a feather in a crystal ball. That great mane of hair, like a silent explosion, is laid on the surface.
This is so beautiful. But I'll admit, I think I listen to the ones that I'm in less than the ones where it's just my mom, because her voice is so beautiful. And so well arranged too.
Well, her lungs may be bursting, but her clothes look fantastic. Between her
Yeah, Jeff, you're totally right. It's so easy to get a room full of really accomplished musicians together and not get anything done. Well, that's incredible. I haven't had COVID, and I've been triple vaxxed, so clearly it's working. You deserve a break to drink and mow the lawn. Oh yeah, I forgot about all these layers. So fun. And of course, both of my parents are incredibly accomplished piano players. I'm full on faking it. Every piano thing in my songs is heavily edited, but they're actually doing everything for realsies. So fun. Of course, as requested, we're going to move on to culture. And as well as having just beautiful harmonies and gorgeous, gorgeous piano parts, this song also features the spoken vocals of Oliver Higgins.
What's going on in London town?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a cracking show in store for you.
Because he sounds just like Jack Whitehall.
Shows, concerts and stuff. The multicultural centre of the world, some say.
And I believe that is
It's
Los
only an
Beavers, the
hour
poet
away.
right there.
This looks like a beautiful audience.
And there's all kind of as Jack
Some beautiful
Whitehall.
faces in here. And also, a couple of famous faces as well, yeah.
This impression is so good that it brings to mind questions about the legality of sampling. And like, there is no question that it's totally fine to get someone that sounds just like one of your favorite celebrities and have them do a perfect impression. But it's so much work. Why can't we just steal it?
Well, I like to go for a walk with my dog in the rain. But I like to go for a walk
So
with my
pretty.
dog in the rain. Beyond the outskirts of this village, into what's left of the old English woodland, and find some old log to sit down on, where I can listen to the sound of the rain falling through the branches of the trees onto the sodden, leaf-strewn ground and the hood of my old coat.
And drop in the chat anyone who's got a suggestion for another
I
song
like
they want to
to
hear
sit
from
and
this
see
album. I think we should listen to one or two
Sometimes I
more.
just sit
And then maybe I'll call it a day unless I
until
get
I've
more
lost
suggestions for
all
other
sense
things
of
that we should be
time and
listening
place.
to. And while the strings just swell so beautifully, I want to say again how much I really appreciate everyone showing up to this. I'm just overjoyed that you guys were all here to support my project and that this ended up just blossoming into something completely different from what I expected, where we got to go on an epic musical journey through space and time.
What's going on
I
in
don't care
London,
what's
and
going on
I
in
don't
London.
want to
I don't
go
want
No problem,
down
Jasper.
to
Have a fantastic night, and
As
hopefully
far
I'll see
as
you at the
I'm
next one.
concerned, you can
If
take
there
your
ever is
culture
one.
and shove it up the back end of your broken civilization. The sound of the rain falling on the leaves is good enough for me.
I got a question for my mom. First of all, I got to compliment the use of that loon sound, but the question is the harp on all of the songs recorded sort of manually on the actual harp, or was most of it played on the piano and then medied into harpspill? And yeah, okay, valediction next. And then I think we're going to play The Future, because it's one of my favorites. And then maybe we'll call it a day.
But I like to go for a walk with my dog in the rain.
Yay! Yes, thank you. Okay, moving forward to valediction. Oh, and Rigel, if there's anything you want to share, like, my computer exploded when I tried to do something interesting about an hour ago, so that's why I've mostly been sticking to Spotify. But if you've got, like, a video game to recommend or anything like that, drop it in the chat. I'm willing to try pretty much anything.
There's a
is so beautiful.
with my name written on it.
I'm going to turn it up. I don't care if my levels are bad anymore.
And right now we're talking face to face. But I'm gonna turn
Oh, that's me. Forgot I was in this
away
one.
from you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna turn away from you. And I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk through the big gates of the
All right.
picture frame.
It's all good.
Across the cornfield Van Gogh painted once upon a summertime to those blue hills in the distance. And I'm gonna follow the music of the little stream up into the mountains past the pine trees and the bushes with the red berries way above the timberline. And
These albums are all so good.
way to the top of the
This pretty much explains everything about who I am as a person.
and I'm gonna raise my arms above my head like wings to the sky, and I shall wait, and I shall wait, and I shall wait, and I shall wait.
So beautiful. Also, absolutely epic drums. Pretty sure that was just all you. This really makes me feel like I gotta level up my piano arrangement. This is so good. Oh, so freaking inspiring. So epic. This is a level of epicness that I can only aspire to.
Like a bird that at last can fly. And I shall wait for that wind to carry me home. And I won't turn around to wave goodbye.
So good.
And I won't look back,
Not even once. Man.
We're down in the valley looking up at the mountains. There's a breeze up there with my name written on it.
Thanks so much, Gabriel. Yeah, this is an unexpected family reunion. I'm so glad pretty much everyone who could show up did show up. And you know what? That song is so beautiful that I'm probably going to cry soon. And it just ended with a lot of goodbyes. So I think I'm going to actually call it right now. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And I'll let you know the next time I'm doing something like this. Let's also all catch up just outside of this recording context. Thank you so much for all your support. And I'll see you at the next one. All right. Bye.